Okay, so we're live. Some kind of squeaking going on. You've got some kind of volume on, Mary Page. That's better. Whatever that is that creates a background squeaking noise.
Fish may itch, or even flash. So Father Fish is your one-stop cap. Capital with an inch of sand. Capital with an inch of sand. Raise the temperature with a helping hand. And add some garlic on top of that sand. The itch will go, your plants will grow, and all of your fish will have a happy home. Father Fish. So Father Fish, your one-stop wonder if you keep fish. Starring Sir Father Fish and all his followers on the Father Fish channel. Over to you, Sir Father Fish. Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Yeah,
I think that one will do.
that'll do just fine. Thank you, Lee. Very nice. Hi. How are you, Mary?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm good. Good to see you. Cut your volume down a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, glory.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's see. How's
can't hear
everybody
you.
this morning? I see Paul C is here. John Doe. Rayburn 127. They're 1 and 2 today. And Sir Lee is in and out. He probably will not be. They're busy trying to sell their flat and buy a new home. So I'm sure that that Surly and Lee and Sue are busy bees these days. Holly Gibbs, good morning, Holly. Nice to see you during your water changes. Oh, who else is here? Jennifer J. Puddle. Fin Nipper. Fin Nipper Puddle. What's the J stand for? It just kind of fits. Excuse me, I'm scratching my leg. Jennifer J. Puddle, good morning, good morning. John Doe, Holly Gibbs. Who else? Aquatic Conquest. Hello and thank you, Aquatic Conquest. Great job you do for us. It's just so wonderful. Really, really appreciate your fine efforts. Indoor fishing inside. Good morning. Mary Page is here. Good morning. Hi, Mary. I'm just going down the list here. Father Fish is here. David Piper. Good morning, David. Manoj Agarwal. Good morning, Manoj. Nice to see you. By the way, I've been following up on Tommy Denda's Facebook, Father Fish Shoal, Father Fish Aquarium Shoal, whatever it is, Father Fish Shoal. Lots of you are posting there. We're getting a lot of really nice tank pictures, and I'm sure Aquatic Conquest is taking full advantage of that. So as you're able, try to post videos. It'll give us a chance to see more of your tank and also give Aquatic Conquest an opportunity to use your video in his major work he's performing for us here. GRB. Hello, GRB. Good day, good day. Whoever it said was said turn unplug heater when water changing. I did it again and left it unplugged for 5 days. Well, that only matters if it's cold, and if it's cold, the cold alone will remind you to plug it back in. If the temperature, if it's warm, you're not really gonna think about the temperature of the water. But if it's cold, you're gonna think about it, and that is to say, it's not a major catastrophe, just a little minor one. Craig Broderick, good morning, good morning. A 900-watt light John Doe got. 900 watts. That's a lot of firepower. I I recommend 2 watts per gallon, um, which is 100 watts on a 55-gallon tank. That's 240-watt 4-foot tubes, fluorescent tubes. The LED, that you just have to try to figure out what the wattage is, and I don't know the formula for that. It varies. It varies fixture to fixture, light to light. Jeremy, the squeaking is better when volume. I think it was my fault. I think I had the volume on YouTube, and that was causing the feedback. I think. Federer Puddle is talking about sealing up. Um, that's really a good conversation. Sealing up heater and light switches and outlets so they don't get water in them. It's a continuing problem. Generally speaking, if you have a wire going from your light or heater down to an outlet down near the floor, you need to make sure that the wire has a drip loop in it. If you don't know what a drip loop is, that's simply a loop in the wire that water will drip off of and not run all the way down into the outlet, or all the way down to the plug. So try to build in that drip loop, and you can do it with a rubber band on the wire. Just fold it over, make sure that the loop is down below the continuing wire, so it doesn't simply drip onto the wire, but onto the floor. Then you can put a little a towel or something under it to catch whatever drippage there is and give it time to evaporate. That's a real issue and really does cause outlets to burn out or blow up or even catch fire. I mean, it's a substantial concern. Mary Page is saying hello. Harry.
Nothing important.
David Piper is off work today. Well, nice to have you with us, David. Bill Witt. Good morning, Bill Witt. Let's see. Oh, Paul C. Good morning, Paul C. I woke up early this morning. I woke up at 5:30, and was it 5:30? I don't even remember. 5:30. That doesn't sound right. I woke up at 6:30. I did wake up at 5:30, but then I woke up at 6:30 and decided to get up. Um, Guess who's here? There he is. Aquarium Cup.
Hey,
Hi
Carl.
there.
Hello,
Nice.
Father Fish.
How are you, Aquarium Cup? Nice.
I love you
I love you too. Nice
so
to
much. You don't even know.
Well, I deeply appreciate it, and I appreciate you more than you can know.
No,
Absolutely.
like
Got
you resurrected my life.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Who's up there? Who's that? I can't see it.
Mary Page. Mary
Hello,
Page.
Mary.
She's running. She's running interference on the chat, keeping me,
Uh-uh.
keeping me, keeping me honest on the chat.
Mary's a bad girl.
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
I love you,
I want
Aquarium.
some. I want some ginger root. Is that the right word?
Yeah, ginseng.
Yeah,
Oh,
ginseng. See,
right.
I'm always wrong. It's so annoying. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're not.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Oh my God, I love her story. I love her, and I totally back her on what she's doing right now. Like it's so encouraging. Like for the fish, you created so many people that we're all in dire straits, and it's just a freaking good thing that's happening. And nobody in the fish fam, big channels, small channels, I absolutely love you.
Well, that's it's only happened because it's true for me as well. I mean, I've hit rock bottom more than once in my life, and I
Yes,
was
and that and I'm sorry to cut you off, but
all right.
I have made a video in I don't know 6, 7, 9 months, and I discovered you. I discovered Mary. I discovered Roxanne. I discovered all these people. And you know what? 2020 is a blur. And no matter what it was, the divorce or like all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm telling you, like, I just want everybody to know, like, God bless Father Fish. Like, he really hit my heart. Like, I was like, even though, like, I just got with my girl and all this other stuff for 7 years, and like I see all these people like going through pain, and I'm like, but there's one thing in common we all got on Father Fish, the show.
Yes.
It's
I'm telling
amazing.
you, I feel saved.
There are so many
We
stories. I'm
oh
not
God,
I'm not privileged to all of them, of
no,
course, but there are a
no,
lot of
no,
stories that people have
no,
told.
no. You need to feel proud because that that love and heart and soul in your heart has touched so many people. And I'm telling you, I'm so grateful. 2020 sucks, but I got to tell you,
Oh,
you're
it's a
my
free
shining
press.
freaking light. You're my
Yeah.
shining light.
I feel the same.
Come on,
And
Mary. Come on, Mary. Tell me, girl.
you're
You and
right.
I been through some stuff. Father Fish been through some stuff. Let's feel it.
That's right. So
Let's
many
feel it,
people.
girl. Come
We
on.
have still come together. It's wonderful. Thank you, Aquarium
I'm
Con.
I, I'm an introvert. I'm very shy, and Father Fish broke me out of my goddamn shell. And I love you, Father Fish. I love you, and I love you, Mary, and I love all the show.
And we
I'm
love you.
feeling really good right now because it's the anniversary of my father's death,
Oh my.
Oh, well,
Uh,
and I just want to tell you all how much I love you.
oh, we love you
I really
too.
do.
Really, I mean, truly. I look forward to seeing you. It's been a long time since I've looked forward to seeing people, and it's exciting to get up and actually say good morning to somebody, or for me to sit up here. Like, I didn't think I could do it. I still don't know if I can do it, but I'm trying, I'm doing my best to pick my head up and do it because I love you
And
all so
and
much.
And prayers for Ro and her family, and
Yes,
Amen.
prayers
absolutely.
for Roxanne. Like,
Amen.
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
This is just the best. And I love you all. And I'm gonna watch on my TV now, and I can't see chat. And I love you all.
We
Thank you.
love you. You have a wonderful day. So sweet. Makes me cry.
Appreciate Aquarium Cop.
Oh, beyond. That is awesome.
We've all got such amazing stories.
Yes, we do.
It's just kind of remarkable. He was talking about the anniversary of his father's death, and that's one that I absolutely cannot bear to think
Yeah.
about. When I was a child, my father was a country preacher. He was a city kid who became a country preacher. And I grew up, we were dirt poor in a little tiny town way down in southern Maryland. There were three kids, my mom and dad, and they grew us up in a little rundown parsonage, little rundown house that had holes in the walls. They they my dad insisted they put a bathroom in the house before we moved in, and they begrudgingly did that. So we had a toilet and a tub and a sink in one of the upstairs bedrooms. But it was a dingy little place. But that was home for 10 years. We moved from there into the city, and all through those years, I knew I was going to be in the ministry. I so respected and loved my father that I just wanted to follow him and do what he was doing. Well, on the side, in addition to those little country churches, he was also the pastor of a church in Baltimore City, all of whose members were deaf. They could not hear and talk. His parents were deaf. They became deaf as little children. And when the minister of that church died, my father, who had dropped out of high school, I think he dropped out of elementary school, frankly, because he was a street rat. He lived on the streets in Baltimore City, in West Baltimore, over in what now is called Sandtown. Amazing things happening in Sandtown today. But in any case, he would he would get in fights on the street with kids who were mocking his parents for using their hands to talk. And he'd come home with a bloody nose or busted up fingers. And his father would look at him and say, "You in fighting? You fighting?" Dad would say, "Yeah." And he'd whip him. Dad's father would whip him for fighting. And that was kind of the nature of that relationship. So Dad grew up being his parents' protector, their victor, their hero. And it wasn't until very, very much later in life that they really appreciated him. So finally, he was able to do that deaf ministry full time, and we moved into the city when I was about 15, and that sealed it for me. I knew that's where I was headed, and that's what I wanted to do. So when I graduated from high school, I went to college, went to Union College in Barberville, Kentucky. Was there for 4 years, and from there went to Boston University, the School of Theology. Was there for a year, took a year off. I'd gotten married, worked in welfare for a year, and then went back to Boston to go to Tufts University, the Crane Theological School. Graduated from there. That was 3 years. Then I worked in ministry out in Western Mass for about 2 years. And all of this time, I was doing all of this in preparation for working with my father. I finally came back to Baltimore and ran a runaway center, an inner city ministry. All the while, my father was training other young men, to be in this ministry. And he would ask me if I was ready, and I would tell him, yeah, but if you don't train one of these other guys, he's not going to be available. So you need to work with him. I'll be here. My commitment is solid. I'm not going anywhere. When we're ready, I'll come in. I then went to American University for a postgraduate degree, did that for a year and a half, finished that up, and then entered ministry in Frederick in the Methodist Church. I was there for a year and a half, almost 2 years. On one Saturday morning, but in the spring, in March of 1978, 74, I'm sorry, March of 1974, my father came to visit, and they said, well, I can bring you in this fall. He'd just been offered a full-time position at the Maryland State School for the Deaf to work with the families, the parents of deaf children, something he had always just cherished being able to do. So he was to be working with the superintendent of the schools, doing a family ministry for the parents of deaf children. That was going to free up the money that he was being paid by the church to be able to pay me. So we called up that day, we called up our district superintendent. We made arrangements for me to come in with him the 1st of June. That would have been 2 months later. I got a phone call the following Monday evening, that was 2 days later, from a Baltimore City police officer. And he said, I found your card. I thought he said car at first, and then card. And I acknowledged who I was. He said, your father has been shot. He's in the hospital. So we jumped in the car and raced down to the hospital. When we got there, we were there for about an hour, and the doctor came down and said, he's gone. So we lost him. Well, his district superintendent, who we had spoken to 2 days earlier, allowed me to come in and continue his ministry. I did that then for about 15 years and did some remarkable things. But the one thing I never did was learn from my father. I never developed the skills he had or the ability he had to really communicate deeply with deaf people. And I finally burned myself out. After 15 years, I built a huge ministry. I had 30 people on board, built a big apartment complex to honor my dad, a complex for disabled people, and just ran out of juice. Resigned from the church, and I've talked a little bit about that since then, but that day, the day of his death, was the day that the dream ended and the work began of struggling to achieve something that I knew he wanted, but that I was ill prepared to do. So after that, what saved me was fish. I started doing fish. I'd always had fish. started doing them again. And that led to a fish room, to a store, and ultimately to being here. So that's a part of my story I've never told anyone here on YouTube, but I thought given aquarium cops witness this morning, I thought it was appropriate to go into that a little bit. So thank you, Aquarium Cop.
Yes. You're okay on the chat. Just some more hellos. We've had a few more people come in. And Finn Nipper, J Puddle just gave you a nice super chat.
Oh, look at that. Let's see if I can find him and post him. There's Aquarium Cop. Thank you, Aquarium Cop. You are a dear. And the other one is Fittiper J Puddle. Let's see if I can find him. Here we are. A year ago, I was going to make drastic changes to my life, and God told me to get fish. It changed my life. But you've saved the hobby for me. A second Aquarium Cup. Well, thank you, Fittiper. And I delight in your screen name. It's great fun. What, the cat did it, huh?
It's knocking everything over. And I don't know if I wanted to mention our thoughts and prayers are with Amber. She's Big City Betta's. She's going through something, yeah. And she's hanging in there with us.
Yeah, and Chevy Fish just sent her some wishes, one day at a time.
That's right.
Yeah, Chevy Fish has been through a lifetime of this kind of physical disability, physical struggles, literally a lifetime of it. From the time she was a young woman. I'm not going to tell her story, but I will say this much. When Chevy was a young woman, she was, in Southern circles, a very well-known young woman who was a race car driver and a very popular one. GRB. Yeah. Thank you, GRB. Talking about rain, 30 milliliters of rain in 30 minutes. That's a little rain. Patrick Polson. I see Father Fish is ranting. Yes, indeed. And Mary Page as companion. Awesome virtual hug, hug, hug. Thank you, Patrick Paulson. Oh, goodness. Hello, everyone. Thunder Aquatics. Nice to see you. You've been talking about your new building you're trying to get. We're all excited about that. That's going to be wonderful. Thunder's going to be doing a big fish room. Super duper fish room. So that'll be great fun. Shoal is more powerful in numbers, says Bill Witt. Might not always chime in on chat, but I always look forward to 8 a.m. and hearing and seeing everyone's chat. Even at work, I listen in the best I can. Thank you, Bill Witt. Delighted to have you with us today. Mary Page praying for Amber. We're with you, Amber. One day at a time, dear. Just hang tough. You're coming through. I've got a couple of friends who have been through just what you're going through, and have come through it. Did horrible, terrible suffering. That chemo is dreadful, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. So just pray on that and hold that in your heart, and know that even though it's tough, you're coming through the tunnel, and we'll emerge healthy and whole again.
Absolutely.
Chevy Fish saying hello to everybody. Oh, by the way, Big City, I just put an order in for Betta's. I don't know if I can I might be able to do this. Let me try to find. So, a woman down here in Tampa, a Vietnamese woman who some years ago had a Betta farm and lost it, and she's back now. Um, I got
Had to get rid of the kitty cat. Uh-oh. Is the sound out? Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good weekend, but I don't think y'all can hear me.
I can hear you. I'm
Okay.
back. I was trying to get a picture up, and I think I've got it. Let me see if I can. These are some bettas that a woman here in Tampa is raising. Now, if I can use my brain instead of just clicking buttons, I might be able to pull this off. Here we go. There.
Ooh.
Aren't they
Oh,
lovely?
my.
So
Yeah.
these are all male placats. The
Wow.
placat, of course, is the short finned betta. Oh, if I can get this.
Oh, they're
There
beautiful.
we go. Aren't they stunning?
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm going to be getting a group of these, about 20 of them, and I'm going to put them I'll put them on Get Gills and make them
Wow.
available. Uh, they'll be on the website as well, so we'll be
I
able
think
to
I'm
sell
going to need
these.
one of those. I think I need to replace my meal.
What are you reading? Oh, somebody.
I was talking about, my little mail that I've had so much trouble with. That looks like some good candidates for a new one.
Yeah, aren't they nice?
Gosh,
Now,
they're beautiful.
the placat, PLACAT, I guess, or QAT or something AT. The placat is a fish that was developed as a fighting fish. It doesn't have long fins. It has a very strong body, and it has a great deal of aggression. In recent years, the uh, the same people who developed this fish as a fighting fish have been developing it for color. They found some morphs coming out with tremendous color, so they've taken it in a new direction, and it now is available as a koi placat. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fish. These are considered top of the line bettas. I am hiccuping. I'm sorry. Ugh.
That second one on the, or the first one on the second row looks like mine. They're so pretty.
They are pretty, aren't they? PLAKAT. PLAKAT. Chevy Fish reminds us. She keeps us straight here. Good thing somebody does. Lord knows. Thunder Aquatic saying I would have any of those. They are magnificent, and I'll be getting a bunch of them. So I'm so happy that this woman is back in business. She's developing a rose betta. Will be her next strain. Matthias, good morning, everyone. Learned about this channel from Alex Williamson
All right.
minutes ago. Well, happy to see you. Oh dear. Let's see. I got Snacks 13. I have the King betta. Love the King. I've had king bettas. They are astounding. They're hard to come by, not easy to find. Thunder says Betta pick is popping with color. It really is. I'm real excited about getting these guys in and being able to carry them again. My favorite is the crown tail, and that's not one she's working on, but she is working on the, I guess it's called the rose. It's a half moon, the half moon betta. So that'll be coming out. What else? I'm just going back here a little bit. Have I missed anything, Mary Page?
Just everybody remarking about how great the Bettas are, and Matthias that just came in says he's thinking of trying a single male in a 20-gallon community tank. I'm missing my voice. Excuse me. We've had a couple of new people come in. A science gal came in, and is that the only one? I think that's the only one.
Aquarium Cop just popped us up another $1.49. Thank you, Aquarium Cop. Flo, where's Flo? Had a comment here. Flo Aquatic. Yeah. At Matthias. Not saying you shouldn't try and that it won't work, but I never had much luck with bettas in my community. It really depends entirely on the community. If you're putting them in with tetras, even guppies, other small, gentle little fish, they'll be fine. If you're putting them in with anything at all aggressive, like barbs or anything up from there, they're going to get chewed up. The thing to remember about bettas is that their aggression is directed solely toward each other and not any other fish. They don't even try to protect their nest. If somebody comes in, they just devour the babies. So they're aggressive only male to male. Once in a while, females will get into it, but they'll never fight to the point where there's serious injury. In the case of male bettas, they'll fight to the death. And sometimes it's both of them dying. But what that means is if you put them in an aquarium, a community tank with other fish, and they're particularly a long fin variety, it's very likely they're going to get picked on. Unless you have fish that simply don't do that. So you want to kind of be careful. Be careful about that. Aquarium Cop is at it again here. Popped us a $20 super sticker. Thank you, Aquarium Cop. We love you. Thank you so much. We actually...
My grandkids are disrupting me.
Your grandkids. Mary Jane has twin 3-year-olds. And they are wild Indians. Yeah. They're delightful little girls.
Oh,
beautiful little girls, but they're some kind of on the warpath all the time. Just doing.
All the time. Let's see. Big City Betta. Let's see. You'll probably see it there.
Lori Venker. Hi, Lori. Let's see. Big City Bettas is saying, I'm sorry, but I disagree with that. Where are we? I just lost it. Here we are.
Looking for... Okay,
I've seen many bettas that couldn't be kept in communities because they kill their tank mates. And I've seen many sororities end in murder. It depends on the fish. I'm sure that's true. I've kept a lot of them in communities, and I've never had that happen. So it's, I don't know, just kind of strange. Don't have an answer to that.
Did Cop just super chat you again?
Yes, yeah. Crop just popped another $20
Oh,
super sticker. Look at that.
aquarium cop, you're awesome.
Back. Thank you, Aquarium Cop. Um, Big City has got a whole lot more experience with bettas than I do, so I would defer to her wisdom in this matter. I've 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 had I've had I've had a lot of male bettas that I've put in tanks, but the tanks I've put them in have been very unique tanks with very tiny fish, micro fish, or very small tetras. Never anything big, never anything aggressive, and have not noticed aggression on the part of the bettas. That's not to say I didn't miss it. It's certainly possible that I missed it.
Aquarium cop just super chatted you again. He's on a roll.
We're going to lose track here. I guess that is for that clarification.
Yes.
Just word to the wise: if you want to do it, then uh, be aware you could run into serious problems. Mary, get the 3-year-olds doing water changes. Oh, that would be a delight.
Believe me, they would definitely do it.
Oh, they would do it. They'd be in the tanks too.
Oh, they would love to put their toys in the tanks right now.
Laura,
That or the toys.
Aquarium Cop, there's a $3. Look at that. $3 super sticker. Thank you. Patrick Paulson. Futural hug, you got this. Matthias. Matthias says I'll have a 5-gallon on standby in case the beta doesn't work in the community. Good idea.
Yeah, cop did it again.
Let's see. Chevy Fish is saying, me too, Laurie Venker. Whatever Laurie Venker said. Thunder Aquatics is agreeing that Big City Bettas would be the one to listen to. He's had bettas a long time and had a lot more of them and a lot more focused on bettas than I ever have. So appreciate your input, Big City Bettas. Let's see.
Aquarium cop again.
What else? Aquarium Cop down to $2. There we go. He's just having fun today, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Big City, sharing experiences with what I've seen. Hate feeling like maybe I've offended anyone, especially Father Fish. No offense at all, Big City Bettas. I very much appreciate your input. And let me just say something else about this. Since the issue has come up, by the way, Father Fish mug available on PayPal for $25, shipping included. Fatherfish at fatherfish.net is the account name. Be delighted to send one out to you. Okay, so Big City Betta says sharing experiences with what I've seen. Hate feeling like maybe I've offended anyone, especially Father Fish. This man has knowledge beyond his years. Number one, you did not offend anyone, Big City Bettas, and I very much appreciate your input. But what I wanted to say is this: I get trapped into saying a lot of things on this stream. I try to make sure that what I'm saying is based on my experience and not based on something I've heard or something I think might be true. Occasionally, I'll say something I've heard or something I think may be true. It'll just kind of slip out the side door. And it may or may not be true. If there are those among you who disagree with me, I very much want you to voice your opinion. It's critical to me. None of us has perfect knowledge, me least of all. So much of my experience, so much of my reputed knowledge is based on experience, and it's my experience. It's not anyone else's. And my experience is not necessarily duplicatable. So if you have a different experience, let's hear about it. We're here to share, and we're here to learn from each other. I'm facilitating this conversation. You know, I'm not sitting up here as a guru, as a, sitting in a temple, a Greek temple on high, giving out edicts. What was the name of those voices that did that? There was a word for that that's escaping me. Nevertheless, somebody got it. Somebody will get it. Aquarium cop. Look at that. Look at that. To the show. So anyway, please, if you've got a different opinion, if you disagree with me, if you have a different approach, let's hear about it. That's really what we're here to do. Yeah, Thunder Aquatic says things can get easily confused in chat and live stream. This format is like having a conversation between one and a half people. It is tricky at best. That's really why I've got Mary Page up here, to help keep me straight with the chat. You do have live chat on, Mary, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And like I
Patrick,
said,
yeah, go ahead.
you haven't missed anything. An Oracle. Matthias said Oracle. Alishan just came in. No, you're fine. It's just some general chatting between everybody. You're keeping up with it great.
Thank you, Matthias. The word is oracle. That's what I was looking for. I appreciate that. Ali Sean got it as well. Back to back, they did it. Thank you. Oracle. I'm not an oracle. Although I may be treated as such, it really ain't true, folks. I'm just a guy sitting here doing my thing and loving it. And loving all the praise and adoration and admiration. I love it. I do indeed. It fills my heart. I just try to keep it from filling my head. Chevy Fish, obsessed fish guru Amber. LOL. I love fish the same way, Amber. That's why you and your bow. I love you and your bow so much. Amen. Amen, Chevy Fish. Aquarium Cop is killing it today. Certainly is. He's blowing us all away. Patrick Paulson, we're all growing today. I see and feel, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Abolished Farms, as messed up as it sounds, the ones who look like they had a rough life or depressed seem to adjust the best to the community. The more vigorous they are, seem to be more territorial, but my experience is only 6 bettas. So yeah, when you hit 100, you'll know a lot more about it.
Absolutely.
Again, we all, that's probably the biggest part of this hobby is our personal experience. And that's really the nature of the hobby. It's what makes this hobby unique. It's not like coin collecting, where a rule for one is a rule for all. In this hobby, a rule for one is a rule for one, and never a rule for all.
That's
Maybe
yeah.
you're wrong for two or three, but the variables are so infinite. Each of us, through by dint of our personality, are maintaining aquariums differently from each other by virtue of our water, our environment, our home, our everything. It's all unique and it's always unique. There are commonalities, but they're rough commonalities. They're commonalities that help us bridge the gap with each other. Um, but it leaves open genuine genuine differences, and the differences are not disagreements; they're merely differences because our circumstances are different. Our fish are different. Our conditions are different. Everything is different. We're dealing with live animals. Those live animals are all different. The variables are infinite. So that is to say, there are no rules. There are commonalities. There are things that we learn from each other and grow by learning from each other. So, never feel like you're um, being overshadowed or have to listen to someone because they know more than you. You know what you know, and you may be brand new and have a set of experience that's simply unique to you and what you're doing, and it may work well for you. If it doesn't, you need to get help. If it does, you need to stick to your guns. So Abolished Farm says yes, life. And that's it. It's life. One love, humans. Aquarium. You betcha.
Yeah. Good conversation. Oh, one dirty platy snuck in on us.
I see him. Hi there, One Dirty Platty. David Piper. Mary Page, Chevy, Big City, GRB. Her shelter has 3 cats that are to be put down in October due to overcrowding. Once I'm done with radiation in a few weeks, I'm going to go meet them and see who likes me best. So, need 2 more folks to adopt some kitties there, folks. Contact Big City Bettas and see what you can do to help. Try to keep these cats alive. Alan Tooth. Alan Tooth was here yesterday, all day, worked his tail off, did a magnificent job, and earned some store credit. So we were
Oh, that's
delighted to have
awesome.
you here. I saw that. There he is. Look at that.
That's awesome.
So thank you. Thank you for Alan Tooth for coming in and being part of the Father Fish's shop yesterday. That was a big help. I know Thomas appreciated the help. Fish Dreams. Good morning, Fish Dreams. Been lurking on the TV. Al Wet Socks is here. Happy turned in this morning. So much great conversation. Thank you, Al. Yeah, an aquarium cop's paying for every minute of it. Every minute of it. I think he's
Where
paid $1 a minute so far. Amazing. What time is it? 8:45.
it is 8:46. Here's another one.
Look at this. Who is this? Who are we looking at here?
A little bobtail. Another one that just came from the bar.
Really? Wow.
Look at this little one. But I've been catching it dipping its little feet in the fish tank.
Oh, you bet. Let's see if I can do this. Ain't working.
Streams. No, everything's going well. You're right on track.
Well, here's Betsy. What is this? Look at this.
What she got?
Oh my goodness. Look what Betsy just brought in. Here's Betsy.
Hi, Betsy.
And look what she has.
Two from the
Oh my.
atrium that had-
These are baby quail
that
that
have
were,
gotten
Oh,
big.
what were they, 2 weeks old about?
Oh no, probably almost a month now.
A month old?
Yeah.
So they're going to be turned loose in the atrium today. They'll
oh,
have a
neat.
new home.
We have 4 more at home that are much smaller. So.
Four more coming in. So we're getting these are a Japanese quail that get kind of big, not real colorful, but really good size, wonderful temperament,
They are.
and
Yeah.
we're getting a lot of babies.
Yep.
So that's nice.
Oh.
Thank you, Betsy,
You're welcome.
very much.
Yeah.
No, GRB.
Uh,
Quails, you
Quail's yummy, he says. Yeah, right. Look at that. Yummo. Paul C., learning is what it's all about. Fish Streams. I have a house full of animals, my daughter and granddaughter. I'm in a lot of pain. I could use some prayers. You've got it, Fish Streams.
Oh,
I just
prayers,
want to
absolutely.
focus the power of the Holy Spirit on Fish Streams. Bring healing into her body. Bring hope into her heart. Be with her children and all of the critters she's caring for. Give her peace and comfort. And let her wake up in the morning feeling new and refreshed. We pray in earnest prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Chevy Fish, 1 call button quail skull smashers for their jumping and hitting their. Oh, I call button quail skull smashers for their jumping and hitting their heads. We've got just a couple of buttons, I think 2 or 3, and they're all girls. No male button quail. And so they sit on eggs for week after week and month after month, and nothing comes of it. We're desperate for a boy button quail. Let's see. What else?
Let's see. Everybody talking about Adeline too. That's wonderful. So does he live in Florida near you?
Who are you talking about?
Alan.
He's about a 2-hour drive.
Oh, okay.
He drove 2 hours to get here to volunteer for the day.
Boy, that's well worth the drive. Well worth the drive.
No,
I
it
want
was. It's second time he's been here. It was a joy having him.
Oh, how wonderful.
Mary Page, right on Aquarium Cup. You betcha. And Finipper, I got Snacks 13. Salute. Tisha, how do I say that? Dijkstra.
Tisha.
Tisha Dijkstra. What was that?
Tisha. I'm thinking that's how you say it.
Yeah, try the last name. Right.
Dijkstra. Dijkstra.
J
Tisha
is kind
Dijkstra.
of silent. Yeah, it's sort of a guttural J. It's kind of silent. Dijkstra. Dijkstra. Like that. Dijkstra.
Let's see.
Dijkstra.
Finn Nipper has a question. I don't know.
Jennifer, does anyone have a link to how to make lids for killifish that are more substantial than a thin sheet of plastic? I glue foam on the glass lids and push the foam around airline. I saw something recently that I really liked. It was plastic, but it was kind of tiny, as I recall, either tiny squares or very tiny kind of rivulets. And I did not make a note of it, so I don't know any more than that. So we need help this morning.
Let's see.
The plastic covers. Obviously, you can buy a piece of plexiglass. Unfortunately, if it's an 8-inch piece, it's going to buckle. You need at least quarter inch, and that gets rather expensive. I use glass simply because it's the least expensive. It's got the weight to be able to stay sealed. The downside is it breaks. And when you have to clean it, you've got to be sure that you're not going to cut yourself. If you're cutting glass, you need to run sandpaper over the edges to get the sharp edges down. I wound up with 3 months worth of surgery on my hand because of a piece of cut glass that I didn't bother to sand down. I wound up cutting the tendon, got that repaired, and then which took a month or more, and then it formed a cyst that erupted, and that took 2 more months to heal. So that one piece of glass cost me the use of my hand for about 3 months, and could have been a whole lot worse. I had a good doctor who was able to keep it clean. I agree, GRB. Glass is best. Um, but there are some plastics that work pretty well. We'll see if we get a little detail here. We should get some
Well, Terry's tropical
information about that.
polycarbonate. The
Oh, right.
polycarbonate.
Let's see. Baby quail, Lori Vinker. Yep. I'm gonna play some music here. I think in a minute. We're gonna take a break. Go ahead.
Tisha or Tisha, she said us Americans always try to pronounce her name so funny.
I'll bet.
Well, because we think TIA is like sha in most cases. Isn't that correct? And we think it's, but she said it didn't matter. She knows who we're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Love you, Tisha, Tatia. I don't know, but we love you.
Let's see.
Oh, Chevy put up a link. Thanks, Chevy, for a lid.
Oh, good. Okay. We're gonna do a couple of tunes here. Take about a 5-minute break,
Intermission.
and we shall return.
Snacks, beverage, and get your smoke break. Let's come back. And then Terry's Tropical Tanks is talking about that polycarbonate to make lids with.
Yes.
Every day
Let's start that over.
I found my way. I found my way to Father Fish. He comes on in the morning every day. Add some soil, cap it with sand, then add plants. He will help you do it the right way. Add some fish, then walk away. Feed them high quality food. Thy food is best. Keep it dirted, keep it all natural. I found my way back to Father Fish. Bye, all. When I find myself in times of take trouble, Father Fish, he comforts me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my time of darkness, He is streaming right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Atom sand and let it be. Father's words of wisdom, let it be. When all the broken-hearted fishes living in the tank agree, there is an answer, let it be. For though it may be cloudy, there is still a chance that they can see. There is an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Add some sand and let it be. There is an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Add some sand and let it be. Father's words of wisdom, let it be.
Very nice. Thank you, ladies.
Oh, and Tesia clarified that for me. Let's see where she said it. Tetsia. Tetsia. Did I say it correctly now? She's got a comment up there. She said it's basically said like Teetseeya. Tetsia?
Titsia. Titsia.
Tetsia.
Ah, okay. Titsia.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Now we try the last name. Thank you, Titsia. We got that. Oh dear. Let's see.
We're still talking about the making the DIY tank lids.
The little one?
You didn't even miss it. We sold it
Beside that?
with the container. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So next week we'll try to get some more. They're doing well. Those more. Now we've got a more expensive turtle. It's a red belly side neck from I don't know where they're from. South America, I think.
Huh.
Really cute. They are dime sized, tiny little things, and they're
cute.
very expensive. Very hard to come by, but we have a source for them for as long as it lasts. And have sold, I don't know, a dozen of them. It's kind of amazing. GRB, mostly Matthias, minor filtering, and maybe some warping if light's too hot. LCD usually. Don't know what all of that, what's that referring to, Mary?
They're referring to making the polycarbonate lids for the aquarium.
Oh, right.
Yeah, was wondering if it let all the light through was what the first original question was.
Well,
Yeah.
the heat can warp them too. Is the other problem. Fluorescent and LED are you're kind of stuck for fluorescent and LED if you're going to use any kind of a plastic cover.
Oh, because a bulb would melt it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, bulb would. Well, it'd be too much heat. It'll warp it at least.
And then Amber's saying she found one that Steve Poland made a video on. So let's see. I think that's about. I don't think we've talked about anything else.
That might
You're
have been.
clear.
I don't remember. I remember watching one not long ago, and somebody had a product that I just really liked.
Blake made one for summer tubs here recently. I remember that one where he cut a ring out of the tub and then made a lid for it.
Oh,
And
right.
I think that's the most recent one I've seen. But it was a pretty good lid. I guess Blake isn't here this morning. He's probably lurking. He might be working.
Yeah, Betta's big city saying Betta's are mad jumpers. They certainly
Yeah.
are.
Especially the wild
what I
ones.
try to do is I have my Bettas in tanks that have rims So I keep them in system tanks that have rims on them. That is to say, an edge, about a 1 inch edge that comes in from the top, and I keep the water down at least an inch below the top. Um, they'll just flop out if you fill it totally. Thank you. My coffee cups have returned cleaner than they were. Sir Lee
Hello.
Wilcox is back. The first. The first. Oh my God. Let there not be a second, or we're in trouble. Sir Lee Wilcox the first. Up north they walk through other with good teeth. See ya.
Let's see. See
Whatever.
who's snuck in here. Somebody else is snuck
They would
in.
see each
Let's
other,
see.
right?
We've had Anthony's come in, or wait a minute. Let's see. Anthony T's come in, and Fortier's Fish. Hello.
48's fish, right? Hi there. Oh, Anthony T. Hi, Anthony T. Big city wild bettas are insane jumpers. They can fit through holes you'd never expect. Precision jumpers. We should do. We should. This is interesting. We could do an act of bettas jumping through hoops, or some such silly thing.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Do a
Yeah.
video. We need to do a video of Betta's doing circus act stuff.
I've seen goldfish. Aranda's pushing around a little soccer ball before.
Right, right.
Let's
Chevy
see.
Steve Pullman sliding glass DIY lids. Yeah, that's a good idea. I have a
Yep.
friend. I have a friend who makes lids for his reptile tanks, and he uses a regular fish tank and builds a wood frame around it, and then builds a slide-in top. Really, very, very nice. Anthony T has a new job, and he's missing us. Well, we're missing you too, Anthony.
Yeah.
Jennifer J.
I'm
Puddle says they're amazing creatures. Been thinking of building a canopy that can accommodate a HOB. It will have sloped areas around the HOB so the fish fall back in. Clever, clever. Mark and Mindy. Hello. Did you not
Did
see?
you watch the video?
Huh?
Did you
saw
watch
the
the video?
I did. Well, that would be very British, of course.
Right.
Of course.
Well, Lee could just have an amazing channel on watching fish behaviors. We already know he's on Poop Watch.
Yeah, really. Lord knows. So you think, Lee? You think? I think you're overwhelmed by British culture there. I think it's gotten pop culture at that. Not even good Queen's culture, but pop culture. Very different. Very different. 48 is asking how everyone is. Well, we are 48. We are. We're in good shape, actually. We're just kind of all over the map today. Oh, GRB says my red and white blue bettas do flips in his pond as videos of him doing flips. So that's good. Yeah, we should do this. Somebody wants to put together a video of bettas doing tricks.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect. We've already got a couple.
Oh, wow.
We
Amber's talking. She had one that jumped 3 feet up in the air. Amber's comment down there.
What? Not a Betta.
A wild Betta.
Oh, wow. An Immaculata. Unimmaculata. Good
Get my
Lord.
chin. Jump up and slap like an Asian carp. Just jump up and slap you in the face.
Yeah, really. Wow. Wow. Ugh.
Oh, Fortier said that they lost a favorite saltwater fish last
Yeah, I
night.
see that. What was it for you? What kind of fish? GRB boulder. Boulder? Boulder. Chevy Fish says bettas with long tails will get hung up if they jump through hoops. Not a good idea. I see. I see. So now we got the animal rights people on us
We're
about
going down.
making bettas with long tails jump through hoops.
Oh, darn. He said it was his Mandarin Goby.
Oh,
Darn.
mandarin gobies. I think mandarin is probably my favorite saltwater fish. I try to keep them in stock. It's hard to do it because everybody wants to buy them. But I've actually had them spawn in my tray out here. About 6 months ago, we had babies. Oh,
There's Alexander Lee. Hello.
oh dear.
I'm with you. I feel like I'm whooped today. I
Yeah,
woke up at 5:30.
big city. If I didn't see it myself, I never would have believed they could jump that high. It was a big boy, 5 inches long, but still, who would have thought? Yeah, it's a
That's crazy.
remarkable fish too. They don't have a lot of finnage, at least not the excess finnage that our fancy bettas have, and they're a really strong fish. That's remarkable. I wonder why they would need to be able to jump like that, unless it's to go horizontal. Vertical, do they catch? They don't catch like flies and stuff, do they? You think? That would be
Maybe.
interesting. I
Maybe
wonder.
they're jumping up out of the water to get away from something.
I wonder if they do. Do you think they're catching fish, catching flies, gnats, or the like an arowana?
Yeah.
Arowanas
It's
can't
pretty
jump
stealthy.
much higher than that. That's amazing.
The way they're built, they're like really, they're longer and they're very stealthy. I think it was HC Aqua put up a video of his that he got a while back, and he was talking about what incredible jumpers they were.
Huh. I've had a few. I've not had very many.
Fortier said his salt level was on the higher end, so he's not sure if that had anything to do with losing his Mandarin Goby.
Yeah, it should not have. How long did you have it?
Let's see. There's somebody we're missing. We're missing Rohan. Rohan. I haven't seen him this morning.
Yeah, runs up in here.
I've about decided we need to have a roll call instead of good mornings.
Really? I
Just
know.
every morning we can all raise our
You know
hand.
who
Present.
does that? You know who does that?
Who does it?
Catfish Terry does that.
Oh, does he?
Well, he does a membership, and he
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he calls off the
roll
names.
calls his membership. Yeah, I mean he does
Oh,
it based on who comes in.
yeah.
But he
And
you know,
yeehaw.
yeah, and
Yeehaw.
he's got everybody posted. It's kind of amazing.
Fortier said that he had the fish for 1 month.
1 month. Now I would suggest that there was something wrong with the fish when you got it. They should last for years. Um, if you're not
Okay.
losing other fish, it's probably not your system. If it only lasted for a month, there was something wrong with it when you got it. Probably starvation. That's typically what happens to these critters is they go so long without food that they lose the enzymes in their gut that allows them to digest food. You know, if there's no food in the gut, the enzymes will break down and have to be replaced. So when you get new fish in and they're hollow bellied or obviously starved, you want to put them in with other fish, preferably other fish of the same type, so they can eat the waste from those other fish and restore the enzymes in their gut. The little trick that Andres taught us at a club meeting a few years ago. He gets a lot of FOs, wild caught fish, and many times those fish are kept in captivity and not fed for even months at a time. So they come in pretty rough shape and starve without the ability to digest food. So even though they eat, they can't digest because the enzymes are gone. So that's what he's learned to do, to put them in with the waste of other similar fish so they can take up that waste and restore the enzymes because the waste has enzymes in it. A good
Um,
trick to learn. So here the point with the saltwater fish is if it's a well-aged tank, a very old tank, you have a better chance of keeping your fish alive than if it's a new tank for that very reason.
let's see. Amber had just shared. She said that the bettas do jump for food in the wild. That she has had collectors who have reported them jumping for gnats in Indonesia, and the wilds are her specialty. So
Huh.
just so amazing and diverse. And let's see here. Somebody just asked the question. David did. He wants to know if there's any way or easier way to raise KH naturally.
Yeah, add calcium carbonate,
Let's see.
just a pinch
Portia.
at a time. Baking soda will do.
Okay. Oh, and he says he was in there with 2 tangs, 2 clowns, and 1 blue spotted puffer.
And your KH is low in your saltwater tank.
No,
The
that was
salt-
David. That was a different one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I had years ago, back in the 70s, I joined the Potomac Valley Club, and there was a couple in that club. I've forgotten their name. I'm gonna have to ask my ex about it because she'll remember. She remembers everything, and they kept wild bettas. This was 50 years ago. Um, they moved to Seattle, and I lost track of them. So they would be my age now. If they're still alive, and they may well still have bettas, but they were specializing back then in wild bettas. I'll try to get their name. She'll call me probably today. See if she remembers.
I want to do some wild bettas.
Yeah, I need to as well. They come available online through a wholesaler occasionally. They're painfully expensive that way. So I really need to get them from breeders.
Okay. Let's see. I see Alan Tooth just put up a question.
GRB is asking Amber if she has any fish for sale. Abolished Farms wish you knew about wild bettas before I went on a PetSmart rescue mission.
Right.
Well,
Alan
they're
Tooth has you a
different.
good one.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Alan Tooth, how long after adding the 3 inches of black sand will it take nitrates to start reducing. Have a steadily established 75 with eco-complete top with sand. Well, you can reduce it by simply doing water changes. That'll get it down. Um, Nitrates are rarely toxic. It's got to be extreme nitrates, extreme high nitrates to have any toxicity. So I tend not to worry about nitrates, but do some water changes. That'll bring it down. That if you do a 25% water change, that'll reduce it 25% based on what it is coming out of your tap, because you're probably going to have nitrates in your tap. Jennifer, tanking a community better and getting nice color. Big city plaquettes are the original domesticated bettas. Some still have fighter blood, but none are truly wild. Bone-fed varieties were developed years later. Yeah, these fish were developed for their fighting ability. They're there's a Betta Fight Club in Tampa that's a very secretive organization. We hear rumors of it. We're never allowed in. It's exclusively Thai and Vietnamese, Cambodian, and the like folks who maintain a very private Betta Fight Club in the Tampa area.
Let's see. Somebody asked. Let's see. Oh, Patrick Polson asked, "Is 200 ppm too high?"
Well, too high. I would want to get it down. It's not too high to cause significant stress to the fish, but it could easily go higher than that and become a problem. I've had it as high as 400 with no obvious ill effects. But I think it's good to keep it down around 100 or lower just to have really safe water. So do some water changes, get it down.
Oh, and guess who's here? Do you see him? Petro Man.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Hi, Petroman. Good morning.
Always glad to see you. Everybody's having some conversation still on the bettas and stuff. Like somebody who's wanting to try wild bettas, like myself. What are other? I've heard you can put them in community tanks, and I've also heard you can keep different species of wild bettas together. Is that correct? Sorry. Come here.
City says there are over 100 known wild species, and some can be kept in communities. Here's Mary Page Big City Bettas that's got a response to Abundant Farms that answers some of your questions.
Okay. Thank you, Amber. Because some of them are just so pretty, and I think it would be neat to. I saw somebody had wild bettas and I think killifish together. I don't know if I saw that correctly or not, but I just want to do something neat in this new tank of mine, and I don't know. That's something that's got me interested.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with killies. There are a lot of killies that can be kept together, but a lot that cannot. Generally, anybody who gets serious about killies, bettas, even guppies, winds up with 100 or more tanks. Little tanks. because you find that it's simply easier to keep them in pairs or keep them separate by species. Um, and part of it is that you really don't want them crossing. You want to try to keep the species, the line, the genetic line pure.
They're already wild on a Saturday morning in here.
Really. Oh dear, I can't stop yawning. Who is
The
this?
time to go get food. Let's see,
Petroman
Alan.
been in with my guppies in a 40-gallon planted breeder.
Let's try to see which one Alan said was his favorite fish. He missed it, I think. Why do
Oh,
most
I have a
why
question
do most
about bettas. Big City, are all bettas from the Far East? They're all bettas from like Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, that region, or are there bettas from other parts of the world?
goodness sake. Let's see, Alexander Lee. Oh, why do most killies not have common names?
Interesting. Primarily because they're not commonly available in the trade. Uh, Once a fish comes into the trade, it's typically given a common name for trade purposes, for shop and hobbyist purposes. Uh, Many of it's the same with bettas. The wild species bettas typically don't have common names. New fish coming in typically don't have common names. The scientific name is very often the first name they're given, unless it's a fish that's popular in the area where they live naturally. And in those cases, it will have a popular name that very often carries over. The Arapima is a good example of that. The Abba Abba is another one. They're bunches of fish that we use the name that's the native, if you will, name of the fish as the popular name, but that's not typically the scientific name. All wilds are found in Asia. Some have been released, and we now have wild colonies in the DR and Cuba. Interesting.
That's neat.
Splendid and
Roxanne,
ah.
Roxanne's here.
Hey, Roxanne. Nice, nice to see you. We played we played her beautiful video yesterday where she greeted everyone. It was so sweet. It was just an absolute delight. And I won't embarrass her by playing it again. But you're
She should.
very welcome to come up and join us, Roxy.
Yes.
Let me post the link.
Shrink
Or
me up.
anyone else. Yeah, anyone else who would like to come up. What are you doing?
Make me little, Father Fish.
Oh,
There you go. That's better.
where is Lee? Lee is out house hunting. Abolish farms. What to do with all the babies?
Abolish Farm says that his little boy keeps asking for some dwarf frogs, but he hasn't seen them lately.
Oh, we've got a bunch of them here.
Oh yeah, there's a documentary on Netflix, something about an octopus, and I've heard about it a few times. Heard it's pretty good.
Oh, it's supposed to be really nice. Somebody was mentioning it. just the other day. They watched it and loved it.
Okay, Jughead Jones just popped up in here. Any tips on how to reduce the number of trumpet snails in a tank? I know I can't get rid of them all.
Yes, you can't. You'll never get rid of them all. But if you want to reduce the number of trumpet snails in your tank, it's a very, very simple thing to do. You have to control something. And what you control is this.
Oh, the feeding.
You control that. And that will control the trumpet snails. The only reason you have a lot of trumpet snails is because you're overfeeding your fish. Stop overfeeding your fish, and it'll reduce the population. Which is to say, the trumpet snails are preventing you from destroying your tank. You're trying hard to kill everything, and they're trying hard to keep everything alive. So stop putting so much food in the tank, and they won't have to work so hard and breed so prolifically to try to save themselves and others from the destruction you are heaping upon them. Is that clear enough?
Aquatic Conquest says make a snail trap, and Chevy's saying assassin snails, which I find fascinating. I don't know much about the assassin snails, but I heard it's pretty. They're pretty mean, I guess. Oh,
Well,
and Abolish Farms wants
really?
if you have the frogs listed.
Do I have them listed? I don't.
Okay.
I can do that, and I can ship them. I'll see if I can get them up. Really, the issue with assassin snails is they only populate heavily when there's excess nutrition, and you control excess nutrition. So stop feeding so much. It is a warning sign that you're overfeeding and that your tank is in danger of collapsing from excess nutrition. It's a serious matter.
Yeah, that's the Lee was talking about how he bought assassins to kill other snails, and they killed them all, but then they starved to death. Hey, Dragon Lair just popped in.
Foxy's trying to get some sleep here, trying various substances. That's terrible. Kava.
Do they really work? I'm just reading through. I don't see.
Lee, do they eat your plants? I thought it said, do you eat your plants?
He could make salads with all that he's got.
Really? Not a bad idea.
Right. And
Put them in salad.
one question. Okay, we've got another question from, it's BHUWAN. Boohwan Chandler says, good morning, everyone. I've set up a dirty tank just now. My question is, the grain size of my pool filter sand is a bit bigger. Is that okay? Let's see. It's right above Big City Bettas.
Foxy's? No.
Oh, it's way up there. Okay.
Who is it? Read it again. I missed it.
Yes. Okay. It's Buhan, I think is the way you say it. Sorry about my pronunciation, y'all. Buhan, it's right above Big City Bettas, but it says, I have set up a dirty tank just now. My question is that the grain size of my pool filter sand is a bit bigger. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. You just might want to make it a little bit deeper, maybe 2.5 to 3 inches. But it should be fine. Sand to sand. it doesn't really matter a whole lot what the grain is.
Yeah. And
Wow, David Piper was woken up at 12:30 by people trying to break in, chased him
oh
off.
no.
But yeah, that would be hard to sleep after. I agree. Jennifer says, I think most aquarium plants are edible. Yeah, there's some I would not want to try, like the bulb plants. I've noticed snails will not eat bulb plants, which says to me that they probably have some kind of toxin in them to protect them from predation. So you want to be careful about that, guys. There are plants that protect themselves from predation by having various toxins in them to make them either foul tasting or outright poisonous.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd want to try the rule of thumb if a snail can eat it, it's edible. I'm not sure about that. All in tanks. If you want to laugh daily in your tank, add African dwarf frogs. Oh, you bet. You bet.
Yeah.
They are fun. Lee loves his. And they
Oh my
do
goodness. Oh,
well. They're easy to keep and they'll last a long time.
GRB asked if anybody's kept water chestnut plants before.
Oh, I never have.
I haven't
That's
either.
interesting. Huh.
I've eaten a lot of water chestnuts.
Yeah, I don't know that that's I
The
don't think
same.
I don't think it's an aquatic plant though. I think it just is called that for some other reason. I think it's a chestnut tree and not a water plant.
That is the smelliest tree ever when it pollinates. Ugh.
Really.
Oh my gosh. The chestnut.
Vinegar. Oh, LRB has tried munching on a lot of them. He says pearlweed tastes like peppery mint.
Oh,
Nice.
that's pretty neat. We're still trying to get Roxanne to sleep. Bless her heart.
I know. I know. I should play
I'm
her.
upstairs too.
I don't know if I can find this. Wonder if I can find it.
That's what keeps me on straight. Like in the middle of the night, I'll be making comments on all kind of stuff because I'm awake. And then I'll fall back asleep for about an hour. It's aggravating. I don't know why. Okay. Looks like you've got everybody. Oh, Jughead's in 20 Assassins. All right. The rest is just doing what you do and just reading all of our comments. Unless you have something great, grand to talk about again. We love your stories. What do you have planned today?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Just I gotta get. Oh, well, I'll tell you one thing I do want to do. We got a lot of plants in this week, and I want to do a video of all the planted tanks.
Oh, that'd be nice. Now, Dragon Layer just said there's a Chinese water chestnut that makes a beautiful pond plant.
Huh.
Mm. And Amber's talking about our list of invasive aquatic plants.
Other fish
It's
and
so
all that.
long. Oh, sorry.
I got it here. Hold on a minute. We're gonna We're gonna do it.
Oh, he posted a link.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Hold on a second.
Good morning, Father Fish, and all my fellow soulmates. I'm
Oh,
sorry I can't be there. Sorry I haven't been there much. I've been having a really hard time sleeping lately. And I just want to let you guys know that I miss you. I miss being a part of the Father Fish show in the morning. And I'm hoping to squish this not being able to sleep shtick so I can be all back with the show soon. I miss you guys, and I love you, and I hope to see you guys soon. Have a great day, guys. And if it can't be a great day, make it one. God
Amen.
bless.
Oh,
no,
what a
she's so
sweet.
beautiful.
I know.
So
I know. It
beautiful.
really is. Just remarkable. Thank you so much, Roxanne. And I know I said I wouldn't do that, but I'm so glad I did. You are such a sweetheart, and we do miss you and do pray for your quick return and you're able to sleep so you can kind of get your cycle back in gear. Who is this? GRB says. That's Foxy's Fishes. Roxanne, bye Betsy. Thank you.
Yes, that's Roxanne.
Cold metal spoons are magic. What is she referring to?
That's what I'm looking for.
Putting them on your eyes? I mean, that
I was
would
going to say putting them on your eyes, especially if you've got bags under your eyes, like I do. I just realized I'm going to be 53 years old this year.
53. Spring
Yeah.
chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Aries tropicals, NyQuil and 2 beers. Foxy, good morning, Dragon Lair. Hello, Dragon Lair. Nice to see you. Good to have you here.
Let's see. Misfit said they just popped in. He had to reseal a tank. It's always fun when you first wake up.
Eye puffiness.
And Lee and Sue are going to look at houses, so they said they'd catch us tomorrow. So good luck. Have sunning.
Yeah, you bet.
Alexander Lee was asking about your plants from Dustin's. How did they do from Dustin's? You still have some from Dustin's?
No, I don't think so. I think
You've
they're
already
all gone.
sold out. Yeah.
Thunder Aquatics is saying water chestnuts are grown in water, and he's got a link for that.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like.
Big City Betta. Our list of invasive aquatic plants is so long. Joseph was overwhelmingly excited when he discovered the collecting potential for tank use. Dragon Lair is a Chinese water chestnut that makes a beautiful pond plant. Foxy said you can play it. I won't run away. I'm glad I did. Thank you.
Yeah, preparation. I've heard of that too, putting preparation H on your eyes. It works.
Oh dear. Sounds dangerous. I don't know.
There's
Molly
beauty
Smart.
secret.
Beauty secret, right? What are we doing? Oh, I think we're running out of gas here.
Time to go eat.
Really. GRB says he'll be 54 in December. David Piper, the baby is up and is sitting with me wanting cuddles. Absolutely
Oh,
these moments. Oh, you bet.
That's
Nothing.
wonderful.
Those are the memories you keep when they don't want cuddles anymore. You just have the memory.
Yeah. Isn't
Almost,
that the truth?
almost as good. Uh, Terry's tropical tanks. Hello, hello. All in tanks. J Rowe. J Rowe's not running out of gas. Let's post the link. Maybe we can get somebody to come up here. You know who
Yeah.
disappeared? You know who disappeared
Who did?
after the break? Aquarium Cop.
Uh-oh. Well,
He
now I
probably
saw him up. He was
did.
up on a stream right early this morning. I guess when I got up at 5:30, I saw him on somewhere.
He probably had to go to work.
Or he's watching us on the TV.
Oh, I have a life counselor who has her children on CBD oil.
Yeah. We've got our granddaughters on CBD oil,
Huh.
trying that one, and it does help. It helps some. Let's see.
Vicks Vapor Rub on your outer cheeks eases tooth pain. How about that?
Not yesterday. Oh, Roxanne's going to be an aunt again.
Oh, really?
Oh, he wondered. Dragon Layer wondered if you looked up the Chinese water chestnut.
No, I
From
saw the link. Let me do it. My problem is I can't click on links on StreamYard. I've got to get over to YouTube. StreamYard does not allow you to click on links,
Oh, okay.
which seems bizarre. So now I gotta find my channel and the link. Gotta get over to YouTube. You cut the volume off. StreamYard does not allow you. And then find the link. What are just
Tommy was here. Tommy that did our Facebook group. He said, "What'd he miss?"
Here we go. Eliocaris dulcis. Let's see if we can get a picture. Well, I'm in Wikipedia. Don't want to be in Wikipedia. Always, that's what he took me to.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't got a picture though. Not much of one. I see. Okay. Okay, here it is. StreamYard. Let's pull it up. Well, that ain't it. So, what it looks to me like is the chestnuts grow on the root like potatoes.
Oh, okay.
They grow as tubers, I guess. Well, not
Oh, wow.
tubers. What's that called? Yeah, kind of
Rhizomes or
like a rhizome, whatever.
like bulbs, like an onion or a beet or a
Yeah,
turnip.
yeah, something.
Oh, what is that called? I do know it's something totally different. Somebody will say it. Super Cartridge Kid, hello. Our chat just jumped. Let's see here. Oh, Super Cartridge Kid said, "Good morning, Mary and Father Fish. I've been inspired to try and rent out a storage container and start breeding fish. I was interested in knowing if you know anything about this."
Well, I have bought storage containers. They usually cost about $2,000 delivered, and you can get them at any port. You simply call the port authority, and they'll give you the name of a company that sells them, or you can look it up. Um, they'll deliver them for a few $100s. Total cost might run about 2,500. You could always get a deal on that. You sometimes get them cheaper, but it is a great source of inexpensive space, and you can do quite a lot with it. They come in different lengths, so you might want to check on that. And also make sure you get one in which the doors are not bent, which the doors are working. So just if you're going to order one, clarify that you want one with easy working doors. They do very often get bent and damaged, and if you buy a damaged one, they're really a bit of a struggle to try to repair because they're pretty heavy duty.
Let's see. Color guppies came in. Let's see. Are you done? No. Just a few minutes.
Boarding beautiful people, Color Guppy says.
Well, let me just know.
I just killed a bug and I gave him killed.
Huh. GRB suffers migraine aura. No headache, just visual disturbance. That'd be probably like tunnel vision and other kinds of like water on the side of the eyes, I would guess.
Let's see. Still trying to figure out what a.
Oh, we've got lots of advice on migraines and sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of advice. Oh, J. Rowe says he knew a kid in high school that played the tuba in a marching band. I wonder if he chewed on it.
I was sitting here still trying to figure out the water chestnut thing. It says something about sedges, sedges. It says
Yeah,
it's an aquatic. It just says it's an aquatic vegetable. Stem-like tubular green leaves above out.
so it's a bog plant.
Yeah.
Grows in shallow water to no water in bog areas.
Chestnut. Chestnuts. Yeah, they're only called a chestnut because they're the same shape as a
They
chestnut.
look like a chestnut, yeah.
Right. But let me tell y'all, we have those in Kentucky here, and that is the smelliest tree you have ever smelled in your life. I'm not kidding you. It'll make you sick when it's pollinating. It's horrible. Beautiful tree, but for about 2 weeks you can't even walk outside the door. It's something else. I've never seen anything like it or smelled anything like it.
Uh,
We need 4 more likes, y'all. 44 watching. 40 likes.
Yeah, you need to put an AC unit in it, super cartridge. You can also cut a door at the other end and just put a fan in it so you can circulate air through it. Cut a window in it in one end. You can cut windows in it pretty easily and then screen it or glass it for the winter. Um, Having circulation is a big help. So being able to open it up on both ends allows you to control that heat. They do tend to bake. You can also do styrofoam on the ceiling inside to keep a lot of that heat out, and then paint the roof white. That'll also reflect a lot of heat.
Oh, Dragon Layer said the picture that we're looking at is the water chestnut you eat. The one he's talking about has spiral floating leaves that looks like mandala. A mandala.
A mandala. Oh, okay. And that's called a water chestnut as well.
Yes. He
Let's
says
see.
it has, yes, spiral floating leaves and looks like mandala. And we're looking at the kind that you eat, like in.
There's the nut, as it were.
Ooh, that's not what I wanted to know. Yeah.
The corm. That is a corm. CORM. Let's see. Wasserkastanie.
Shut the door. Don't go back out. Don't go back out. No,
I got something.
you have to wait. It's just there.
There's that thing that was one of
Okay, so look, just let me finish this up. Sorry, y'all.
Here we go. Here's the plant. What in the world is going on? What are we
Kids are
doing?
going. Sorry.
Are we
This won't be
beating
so
a
bad when I
child?
get home.
Are we beating a child? Is that what that was?
No, it was actually my bull terrier flipping around on the ground, hitting the wall, scratching his back.
So here's a picture of the water chestnut.
Okay. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Capone, lay down.
And yeah, there's a bunch of information about it. Chinese water chestnut growing the plants. That's the first one we looked at.
Oh gosh, what are you doing? Quit. Come here, quit. Oh, get up.
The water chestnut cake recipe. There's water chestnuts with shrimp. That looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. Look at this. Invasive species. Look at that.
Oh wow.
See if I can get. I've got a better picture here if I can get it. Kind of a blow up of it. Is that it? That's not it. Oh, come on. There we go. Look at that.
Wow.
As an invasive species. Wow, I've never seen that.
Uh-uh.
Let's see where. New York. A New York invasive species, so it's going to be kind of cold water, I guess. Bacon wrapped my. Where we need to get back to the other one if we're going to do this. What time is it? 57. Enough
Yep.
with a water. Enough with a water chestnuts. We're gonna wrap it up here. We've hit the magic hour. So here's a Google reputable CBD. We're into CBD. Water chestnuts look like turnips. Somebody adds it to their fried rice. All in tanks. Foxes. I've heard of a plant called wild lettuce grown in Hawaii that's supposed to be great for pain and sleep.
We get wild lettuce out of the yard here. It's just a weed. It's a common yard weed, and it's called not water lettuce, wild lettuce or something, and that's
Huh?
what it's for.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll have to find a picture of it, but it's something. It's very common. Like you would see it in your yard, and you
We'll
would be like,
send
"Oh,
some to Roxanne.
yeah."
All right, guys. What are we gonna do here? We're gonna play a tune. Let me let me let me catch up to the water chestnuts. What am I doing? Let's go here instead. Ta-da! Channel tunes.
Oh, watercress. Chevy said that last picture looked kind of like watercress.
Oh, well, that I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
Roxanne, I'll email you that.
All right, here we go, boys and girls. What are we gonna do? We'll do Lee, and then we're gonna leave the chat up for Aquatic Conquest. So we'll be up for comments here for about another oh, 5 to 10 minutes. Not as long as 10 minutes, but longer than 5 minutes. So let's do it. Good to be with you all today, guys. Have a lovely day. We're going to try to get something done in the shop today. I want to get things ready for shipping on Monday.
Love you all.
All right.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish.
Chat.
Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Fish, let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish. I think that one will do. I'll play it back and I'll see what I think. I think it's probably the nuts. And that'll be the one. Then you can play around with all of it and decide what you want to do.
Bye all. Bye, Mary Page.
Bye, Father Fish. Have a great day.
You
I hope
too.
everybody has a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.
We'll play this while you know, chat and say goodbye and stuff. Nice to be with you all today. On stage dancing. Yeah.
Say, wow, give me those claws. Put them up. Put them up. Put your nipples up. Yeah. All right, guys.